Hello. Hi, Meenank.
Hi, what's up? How's it going?
All good, all good. It's going good. How you been?
Going good this side, yes. So
Yeah,
happy to
yeah.
be here.
Yes, very happy to be here as well. I'm just gonna check if we are really live or not. I feel I
Yes.
I feel very old right now that this is not
Sure,
something that
sure,
I've
take
not
your
done
time. Yeah.
before. And yeah. Okay. Feel like we are. I think I gotta join to see. Let's see. Okay. We are live.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay, looks like we are before time, which is I don't know if it is a thing for most people, so we can kind of wait and chill
hmm
around, or we can talk a little bit to each other,
yes,
which is
I'm
nice as
already
well.
seeing comments coming in from Lovely Encore, from Sumita Sinha. Awesome. So good to see you guys here.
Hey, nice man. This is damn
Yep,
nice.
indeed.
Okay, superb, superb. I love that. I love that. All right. So, Minang, you and I have been knowing each other for a while now, like a few
Roughly,
years.
I think
Yeah.
since 2019. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So as long as I've been here in Bangalore, like I think it's like around 5, 6 years
Before COVID. The good old days.
before COVID. Yeah. It's become the good old days. Yeah. Thankfully, we're also done with all that kind of
hmm
stuff. So it's nice to know you. For the longest time, you've done
hmm
marketing, and but you've done marketing in different ways, right? I know that we met via an event, and then you work for different organizations. You host, you do everything. You do all kinds of stuff, right? So and I know that there are a lot of people who have been following you, and like they've been there. They've seen your entire journey. So you want to give our audiences a glimpse or a little intro about
Sure.
you. I know you can cover how much, but whatever you
All
can.
right. So, hello everyone who's watching this. My name is Meenank, and I am a marketing manager for one of the top marketing agencies out there for SaaS companies. And while that might sound technical, B2B ish, today we are going to talk about something that's been close to my heart, which is personal branding. And no matter what industry you're in or what business you're operating in, building a personal brand would 100% help you out in ways that you can't even imagine. For example, one of the job that I'm currently in is all due to personal branding. The job that I previously got was also due to personal branding. And even if I move to a new one, I'm 100% sure I'm going to unlock new opportunities with personal branding. So, I'm excited to discuss this topic today. I'm into marketing since 2016, so it's been a while. And I've seen creators come and go. I've seen creators cause controversies. I've seen brands being built and brands being destroyed. Yes, I'm sure when I'm talking like this, you already have a name in your head about one particular creator who recently went under controversies. No, we're not going to discuss about that, but we're going to discuss about how you can build a brand today. Excited. Let's go.
Perfect. This is great, Manan. Thanks a lot for that intro. It was quite a humble intro, I might add. You did not brag at all, but you've done a lot of good work, and I know that because we've been in the marketing community in different ways. We've connected and we've kind of built our own brands in certain ways. And like you, my story is also very similar. I have kind of touch based and trying to mingle with different kinds of platforms, Instagram, YouTube, I don't know, Snapchat, TikTok when it was musically, every kind of different stuff that we could do I've done. And now LinkedIn has been really giving me a lot of good stuff that's happening, great connections. And my perspective would definitely be like a lot of people still hesitate to put themselves out there, whether it is online or offline. And they feel like I'm going to lose a part of myself if I am writing online or if I'm doing any kind of marketing. And I want to be authentic. I don't want to be a sellout. So today's conversation is around, of course, the tactical part of marketing and everything. People can ask you or ask me or ask anyone else. But I think it's also about the personal side of marketing. What does it mean to each one of us, and why is it no longer optional? Back in the time, people would say that anything you do is sales. You're in an interview, you're selling
Right.
yourself. I think now it's become anything you do is marketing. You gotta put yourself out there.
Right, absolutely. Times have
Yeah.
changed for sure. And when you put yourself out there, it
Mhm.
means you are unlocking an entire new audience who isn't familiar with you, who doesn't know who you are, what you do, etc. And I can understand the frustration or the fear that comes along with it, especially opening up to an entire world, showing that you're dancing or you're creating some new things, fear of judgment, etc., that comes in along with this. And that's why when you titled it as "Without Losing Yourself," I'm like, okay, this would be an interesting one to talk about because I faced that myself when I started it out. Usually I sometimes want to start it under a different name, like a authors, how they use pen names, etc. Sometimes I feel like doing that too. So 100% I totally get when where the hesitation and etc comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Which reminds me, let's talk about our whatever we can recollect, like our very first post or our very first attempt to creating to creating that content. What made us start this journey, and how much of an embarrassment did we go
i
through?
can't
Right? Do you
I
recollect
can't
anything?
look at my old post right now. I look at my post 2 weeks back and I really wonder what was I even doing when I made this post, you know?
Yeah,
So it is that
yeah,
bad. So if you ask me to look at my first post, oh no, that's gonna be cringe for me at least.
yeah.
Uh, that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is definitely how much I've grown. It's like, okay, your past is the first post you made looks like cringe. Great. If it doesn't look like cringe, that's when the problem is because you're like, oh, you haven't grown at all whatsoever. So before we jump into the conversation more, I think there are people who are watching this, around 10 people: Noor, Sumita, Loveleen, and Nazuk. If you're watching this and anybody else whose name I haven't taken, please do comment any question that you have at any point. Happy to answer. I want to go as tactical as it gets. I can be philosophical as well. I want you guys to help me steer this conversation on what exactly you want, because if I were to talk about personal branding and marketing, etc., trust me, I could do a Guinness World Record talking for at least 48 to 72 hours straight about every subject of marketing that I know of. So help me steer my,
Okay.
help me steer us, like, our flow. That's what I
Yeah,
would request you
yeah,
with your comments. That's it. That's basically
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, yeah. Let's keep the comment going. Just type to us if you feel like we said something interesting. Put it in the quotes. Say I agree, I disagree. I like this, I
And
don't like
disagreements
whatever.
are
Like you
fully
just
welcome,
yeah.
fully welcome. Yeah,
Yes, everything, everything. Like we want you to be as conversational as we
absolutely.
are, just like through the chat.
Let's.
Like, yeah. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So, this conversation is reminding me of the very first few times when I started to kind of create content. I remember my very first video on Instagram because I have archived it, and I think a screenshot of it is somehow popped up on my Google, Google Photos or something.
Hmm.
First of all, I look horrendous. I think the shock value is that. And I had longer hair and I was wearing a jacket, which I thought was very cool. I'm sure I'll look at this live and be like, what was I even
Hmm.
wearing? Right? But anyway, I remember that. And I had those wired earphones and I was sitting on my balcony in Calcutta and trying to shoot some content. I talked something, okay? It was cringe. It was very cringe. You know, um, you know how when we look at our favorite musicians or movie stars and stuff, or our favorite athletes, and when you go back to their very first performance or the initial movies that they have done, and how weird they look, their accent, the way they perform, the way they emote is so different, and we are unable to see that who is that person. And but we know that they have changed so much. I kind of had that feeling that I cannot relate to that person, but I'm very proud of that person that I started somewhere. Yeah, I was very like apprehensive. Oh my god, if I make this video, what are my friends gonna think? Are they gonna think I'm a wannabe, or are they gonna like, am I is my accent sounding correct? Am I grammatically okay? Am I making sense? All the like so many things out there. But I'm so glad I had started, because even though I'm not perfect today, at least I'm not starting today. Imagine another, I don't know how many years, at least 7, 8 years would have been there. Another 8 years to get to where I am right now. Kind of growth hacked our way into this whole format. So I'm happy to kind of have done that, even no matter how embarrassing it was. Do you recollect anything?
Um, I do recollect my first moments of YouTube, I must say, where I was testing out the Windows Movie Maker software and trying to make some random videos out there with that. Yeah, that's the first recollection that comes in. Second one that comes in is around Orkut days. I remember I used to run a
Oh
blog
yeah,
in
good.
2010, the Orkut guide dot, something, where I used to publish Orkut related tips. And yeah, I remember a few things. Yeah.
Oh yikes! My God, you have opened a whole pan. Orkut, I remember Orkut randomly. There are, yeah, you know what? There are many people who think I'm a Gen Z, which is ridiculous of them.
Mhm.
But anyway, I'll take that as a compliment. And
Yes.
then, and I say something like, a lot of people talking to each other like, oh, we remember this, we remember that, and someone says Orkut. And I'm like, oh, I remember Orkut, and they're like, how do you know Orkut?
Right.
I'm like, because I was there. I had an account made. It was very colorful. I was very sad it went
Right.
away, because I felt Facebook was very like blue and white. There's no colors. I can't. Orkut was a whole different ballgame. You could change everything about your entire profile. It was like a website of its
Right.
own. Yeah. So Facebook was very kind of boring, but
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Indeed. Indeed.
Super. Super. So, so Minak, what do you think? Like, I'm sure that the hesitancy we felt and the kind of, like you mentioned, I wanted to figure out if I want to start with a different name, or like, nowadays there are a lot of faceless accounts. People are using AI, all kinds of things,
True.
right? Do you still feel that it is like it is important for people to put themselves out like this, or can they still not do it? It's not important. Yeah.
Highly
Or
dependent on the field. For example, if it's YMYL fields, which is your money or your life fields, which is doctors or lawyer or financial advisor, etc., you don't want to automate such kind of accounts, because if anything goes wrong, people are taking out your advice, your financial advice or your legal advice or your health related advice. And that's why when on YouTube you will see that below a doctor's channel, it's like this advice is approved by a health specialist. It's written. So in these kind of niches, you cannot really, you shouldn't, try to automate or completely paste AI related content. It's not worth it, I would say. But whereas other niches, which is just information oriented or maybe news, right? News, which is obviously taken from trusted sources, etc. I feel those kind of things can 100% be automated. So it depends on your niche, is the answer I would give you. No blanket advice would be found here in this live session. Sorry, guys.
yeah.
And no, I wouldn't say that, okay, you can just escape. It's fine. No, I wouldn't say that either.
Yeah.
But it totally depends on the niche and it totally depends on what you're trying to achieve as well. Like, is it
Yeah.
business growth? Is it just your follower growth? Or is it something else that you're trying to achieve? I really don't know your goals. It all depends on your goal. Very simple. Yeah. Totally
Yeah.
straightforward.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, that's nice. I agree. I also feel like now that AI has kind of gotten a very nice become a very integral part of our lives. Nobody, I don't know, there are a lot of people who don't Google anymore. They just chat GPT, just like, we don't search, we used to Google, now we chat GPT is it. So AI has become like a companion, and which is why a lot of people who are not posting are using AI to post, and the human element is getting kind of
Right.
lost. So if there are people who are in a profession or in a space where they want to explore putting themselves out there, this is definitely a good time because you will differentiate yourself from botty comments, like people looking like bots, sounding like bots, right? And you're gonna be like, even no matter how I sound, and even though my advice is very simple or very straightforward or just a story, it's still me. It's not a curated story from sources of the
True.
internet, right? So it's very interesting that way, and I feel like I always want to look forward to when I read comments. I'm like, this is very structured where I feel like, oh, if there are a bit of a typos and if there is a bit of like incorrectly formed sentences, I feel like, oh, this is a human being. I like this person. They're putting in their actual effort into it. And that kind of separates you. You kind of cuts you through the crowd.
One key insight that I can really give you here is that any creator who has created like a digital avatar of themselves and automated this kind of stuff, any successful creator, rather, if you were to look
Mm.
at it, they made their 100 or 1,000 videos already before doing this.
Yeah,
It's not like they're starting out by faceless or automating the avatar. No, they first did the manual work, did the lighting setup, did the audio, video editing, etc. And after hours and so many episodes of doing that, they now discovered that they can scale up. And that's why they're using AI. Think of it. Don't try to jump to the
yeah,
10th step right now if you're not even on the step one. And if you're
yeah,
automating anything, the golden rule is that you first do it manually and actually see how it's happening manually and how much time it's taking manually. And then you think of automating. That is applies in every single automation that you're trying to do in terms of business, marketing, etc., even content creation. So don't try to jump into things where faceless, etc. I mean, of course, you can 100% do it if it's like a faceless channel. 100%, why not, right? But if you are like a single business owner, maybe like a therapist or someone, where you need to gain a lot of trust, it comes via showing up and showing your face and talking directly to the camera. That's all. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of difference. And you're right. I remember I was just talking to a friend today that she asked me that why don't you do YouTube? I said I've done YouTube. And there was a time when I would do YouTube videos in three different languages, like English, Hindi, and Bengali, because I was trying to figure out which language is connecting more to the audience, what are they liking, and through that, I would also learn how to talk in front of the camera, how to edit, how to script, how to talk, without a script, all of that. And I would kind of look for the golden moment, yeah, living with my family. I was like, at night, there's a certain hour when there is no car that passes, everybody's asleep. And I didn't have a great mic setup. So I had to kind of figure the whole white noise and the echo bit and a white wall, and it was so much fun to do that. And now I know that since I've done all of that, even if I hire someone, whether it's a human being or an AI agent, I know what I require as the output. I know what I can, if they give me an output, I know what changes I want. That's only because I have a voice, I have a style, and I have an aesthetic, I have a look and feel in mind. But if I am just starting out, whatever the AI agent or whoever the person is going to give me, I'm going to be like, oh, probably this is the market standard. This is how I'm going to look like. So it's a cookie cutter approach. Everybody out there just looks the same, talks the same. The banner is the same. The pictures are the same. I'm like, why? What happened to the human element? Why are you so hesitant to look a little imperfect?
Right, 100%.
Yeah,
And we are almost 20 minutes in, and we've already started to get some
it's
questions, which is
fantastic.
amazing. Why don't you
I
display
love that.
this really
Okay,
good question from Noor? And I
nice. All
think there's
right.
an option to display it on the screen. And I feel this is a really important question
Lovely.
to talk about because there are many people who are watching this who haven't really started a brand yet. Can you? I think you just have to click on the
Mhm.
comment and it displays the question on the screen.
All
Can
right,
you try
let's
that?
see.
Perfect.
Yep,
Yes.
there you go.
So, for someone who has never done any form of personal branding, how do we start with the goal to educate people on therapy and psychology? The content is saturated by AI and unauthentic information. Good catch. If you were to, you want to go first, Sonali, or do I do it? You tell me.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take a jab. So, who has never done any from personal branding? How do we start with the goal being to educate people on therapy and psychology? Content is saturated by AI, unauthentic information. Okay. Well, even if you've not done any form of personal branding, I'm guessing you've done some form of therapy or psychology, which is the main part, right? They're coming here to get your view on those subjects. And the mode is just social media or personal branding. So you can share your client stories, you can share how you started your journey into psychology or therapy, right? What does it mean to you? How has it helped you? Any case studies with your clients? These are all true stories, right? And then you can, I think personal storytelling is always is going to kind of cut the crowd and make you seem authentic because they are authentic. And from whatever you have done with your clients, whatever it could be, book reviews, it could be conferences you have attended on mental health, webinars you have done, anything that you have done personally can cut. And don't think of making it perfect. Whenever it happens, you just post it. So if you have had a one-on-one therapy session without naming names, without naming any identifiers, just put it out there that, hey, I just had a therapy call. This is what the person said. This is how I kind of helped them through. There are ways to make it, the hook can be there, the body of the whatever can be there. But just start with your true things. And if you are a student or you're still learning, share your journey. What you're learning, why are these the subjects you have chosen, why it's not business, what does therapy mean to you, is it like a personal thing, you've gone through something, hence you've chosen to help other people. So anything personal always works. What do you
Awesome.
think?
That's some good advice. Now, I would like to take a step by step approach because the 0 to 1 step is something I've done like hundreds of times with hundreds of people. So when she asked this question of I've never done any form of personal branding, how do we start with the goal? How do we exactly begin this personal branding motion? Here's how I would do it. Number one is niching down. If you're a therapist, and there are therapists of all types on Instagram, therapists for same-sex couples, therapists for normal regular couples, or therapists for anxiety, therapists for depression, therapists for ADHD, right? There are different categories that you can go into, and you need to figure out what is that category that you are trying to address. How I would look at it, personally, look at your business. In your business, who exactly are you talking to more? Is it general or is it family? I don't know, right? What exactly you're doing. So, or maybe is it just for students? It could be anything. So, let's figure out that first. And around that, let's say, for the sake of this live, let's take an example that you're a couples therapist. Now, you will first create your brand around the word couples therapist or couples therapy. How will you do that? Number one, you will use a tool like Notion and you will first do a brain dump of all the questions that your potential future client might be asking, or and list out all the problems that your potential future client might be suffering from. Maybe they're going through a divorce, maybe they're thinking of breaking up, maybe they just don't know how to bring back the intimacy, right? A lot of things on this topic. Just do a brain dump of it. Think of everything else later. This brain dump activity should take you around 20 minutes, roughly, if you do it right. And once you do the brain dump, each line that you've written, I want to just copy paste it, the whole brain dump into ChatGPT, and type the prompt like, these are all the potential problems I've written as a couples therapist that my future clients would be facing. Could you please give me could you please frame these into appropriate content topics for my Instagram or LinkedIn, whatever. Choose one platform again. Don't choose multiple platforms. And how to choose a platform? If your client is hanging out on Instagram, just choose Instagram. If a client is hanging out on LinkedIn, just choose LinkedIn. Don't try to do multiple platforms, especially if you're starting out. Now, ChatGPT will give you almost 20 to 30 topics ready to go. And these are not AI made topics. The AI just polished those topics. These are topics that came from you, your own knowledge. AI just polished it in a way that is more presentable on social media platforms like Instagram, etc. Now, all you have to next do is optimize your profile, which is tell people around, like, okay, your name plus couples therapist. You put a hyphen and type couples therapist. In the bio, again, you type around things around couples therapist. Or maybe just ask ChatGPT the next thing if you're out of ideas and absolutely on zero creative juices. Now, since I'm trying to create a couples therapist IG account or a LinkedIn account, what would be my tagline, bio, and you know, any catchy phrase that I use in every video? Ask it a follow-up question. AI has made it truly easy. Back then, we used to just think on it ourselves. Now, AI is just giving you the brand yourself. Like, this is what you need to do. So, copy paste it and modify it accordingly. Your profile is optimized now. Now, all you have to really do is take out your phone, put it on a small tripod, 500 rupees, or like a $5 tripod. And then, yes, the first few times you record is going to be hard. You might forget your lines, you're not used to looking at the camera, and that's completely all right. Let the content come, don't look for perfection. Give it a maximum of 3 to 4 tries. Start with your content 1, content 2, content 3, content 4, one piece of content a day. Or maybe if you're busy with clients, aim for at least 3 videos a week. If you're doing it below 3, there's no point in doing it because it's just inconsistent and yeah, you're not serious about it. 3 videos a week, do it for a month. Now we've almost spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Only 12 ideas out of your 30 ideas. That's it. And by the time you reach the end of the month and you compare your first video, you're going to notice a difference, 100% sure. It may be the style of your talking, it may be the camera lighting, it may be the audio, it may be the way you edit the video, or it may be all of it. You'll notice a difference. Now you're 100%, now you've moved a step or 2 steps of, or you've climbed 3 to 5 steps in your personal branding journey already. Now imagine you keep doing this every single month. Keep continuing the journey. Don't stop after a month. And imagine yourself at month 6. And now you compare your month 6 video with month 1 video. Huge difference. What people make a mistake is they start by looking at the follower count, like count, and engagements or comments, etc. And they get discouraged. And they stop their journey within 20 days or 30 days, trying to go viral, chasing unnecessary metrics, etc. While all you need to be doing, really, if you're building a personal brand, is having the information within you first and being able to present it in a really thoughtful manner that makes your audience really look at you like a thought leader. And that's not going to happen on day 1, not day 20, not day 30 either. But day 365 by 2, which is 6 months, maybe you're inching closer. You're becoming like a small authority who's publishing content around your business. So this would be my number one advice if you're just starting out as a if you're starting out your personal brand, Noor. I hope that helps. Nothing else I would like to cover in this one. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks a lot, Minang. That was a very step-by-step walkthrough, like you have mentioned and promised initially. I would also kind of like to add that I think gone are the days where big numbers, number of followers mean direct business or direct success, because a lot of these followers could just be dormant accounts, and social media sites keep on auditing and removing inactive fake accounts or spammy botty accounts. So you will keep losing followers. So if you're only looking at the follower count, you're gonna kind of always be discouraged. And when people get into the personal branding kind of a journey, they are constantly comparing themselves with the bigger accounts. I think we're slowly moving into, like Gary Vee calls it now, interest media, not social media. Right? A lot of business that I get and I've seen other creators get is through people who don't even like or engage on your content at all. They're silently seeing you, watching your work, building that trust, and you will sooner than later, now or sometime in the near future, gonna get a request from them. And a lot of these people don't even request things on LinkedIn. They go to my website, they fill a form, and they come on a call with me. I don't even know who
Right.
they are, but they know exactly what
100%.
I do,
100%.
right? So don't worry about whether people are commenting, reposting, all of that is great. But what's really happening? Is my content reaching the right people? And am I able to build the trust with that micro community who's going to give me what I really want?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
We can take up Roddick's question next.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Okay. Hey there, Sonali and Meenank. Let's say I'm meeting an HNI at a conference and I only have very limited time to grab his attention as he's walking out. This person is whom I could have areas of collaboration with. How do I articulate my thoughts down without being salesy?
I think this is your area, but I would love to. But yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah. This is totally your area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Dominic. Thanks. I am a lot of people feel like I'm constantly living on LinkedIn, but I'm very much a offline and a real world person. I love events. I love meeting people, and a lot of my stories that I get of people calling me a guy or mistaking me for a man is because I'm putting myself out there and giving myself all the getting the content from the outside world. So the thing with HNIs is if they're at any conference, you will see that a lot of people are already around us and trying to sell. And important people or HNIs, if you want to call them that, are very used to being sold to. It's really
Right.
annoying, right? Always people want to take pictures and say, "Oh, I follow your work and can I work with you?" and all kinds of stuff. Honestly, it's very vague when they go and attempt to talk to them or attempt to ask them for some help, and you don't close on the first call. It's when you're on a first date, you don't ask for their marriage. It's not going to happen, or their hand in marriage. You have to warm up the lead. And when it's a very important person, they're already getting attention from all places, which means that the competition is that high. So you have to position yourself in a way that comes across as non-desperate, which also means that internally you have to tune yourself that I'm not desperately looking for this person's attention. Then only your body language, your tone, and everything will be fine tuned, right? You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna act pricey and everything, but like your body language will say, please, sir, please. It's not gonna happen, right? So just have something very specific to tell them, which means that if you've read their book, watched their TED talk, visited their office, or any you've used their product or service, you have to have a personal approach to it. Just say that, hey, I attended this conference where you spoke, or thank you for the panel discussion today. This line you said really meant something to me, and I just thought I want to come and say hi. No sales. You're kind of just telling them, when you were talking, I was paying attention. That's why I'm coming and telling you that I really enjoyed your talk,
Right.
right? And if they are replying back to you, they'll be like, oh, thank you, whatever, this, whatever. And sometimes they will be like, oh, so what do you do? Or what are you into? You already got their attention. You can soft pitch them. Your soft pitch cannot be a paragraph, which means that you're going into what your company's mission, vision, and values are. Gotta be like, yeah, I'm so and so, I do this, and that's all.
Nice.
No sales,
Right.
nothing, right? And then you connect with them on LinkedIn, hopefully LinkedIn and
Right.
nowhere else, and just you tell them that, sir, thank you, ma'am, thank you for giving me your time. Would love to stay connected. I will kind of connect with you on LinkedIn. Can I take a picture with you if that's all right? No desperation, if that's all right. I know you are a little busy. I know there are people waiting. Would love to grab a picture to kind of just keep this memory here that I met you here because I really enjoyed what you said today. Enjoyed your talk. Take that picture, connect with that person on LinkedIn. Within 24 to 48 hours, ideally 24 hours, send them a message on LinkedIn saying that, hi, I met you today at the conference. I said this line, some identifier to make them recollect you, would want to stay connected. If they reply back, if they get connected to you, then that's your time to nurture that relationship, which means you comment on their feed, you nurture them further, maybe you see how you can pitch them. So you never pitch on the first go. You build that relationship, you build that personal touch, and the first idea is to stay memorable. Be like, okay, this person heard me, or this person has seen or known my work, and okay, I would love to give them a chance. That's what I do. It has worked a lot. Yeah.
To add on to
Minank,
that,
what,
I
what
have
what
two
do you think?
books to suggest you. First one is How to Become a People Magnet by Mark Reklow. It's a good book. I totally like it. 44 Communication Ideas. That's another good book. Another good book I would recommend is by Lee Lowndes. It's a yellow book. I forgot the name. I think it's called How to Talk to Anyone. Yeah, that's right. And these are the three books I would recommend for you to get started with ASAP. And now you might be wondering, okay, why are these books even this thing? Some of the things I've picked up, I got complimented on, and I didn't expect to be complimented on the things and how I'm networking per se. And when I got complimented on, it unlocked an insight in me that yes, maybe how did how like I picked up few things, I tried it. I'm like, okay, nice. So when I got complimented on, I noticed that few the things mentioned in these books are powerful. They 100% do work, and that's why I'm suggesting you those books. So first thing is don't BS around or HNIs because their time is really really valuable. As I slowly grow in my career, I get a lot of DMs already every single day asking people to pick my brain, etc. And I'm already trying to manage 100 different things at my company. And I'm like, oh God. And your DM suddenly comes in, I'm like, I don't even see it, you know? It's how it is. Although I want to see it, although I want to reply to you, although I want to say, dude, you got this, keep growing, or something like that. I have like thousands of other things, headaches on my, this thing as a head of marketing, etc. So don't overshare your story. That's the number one tip I'm going to give you. Stick to one specific anecdote or detail and then just go with it. Create a narrative around it. That's it. That's basically your storytelling. If you're doing it offline, the storytelling is what matters. But again, don't start telling all the past stories. Just stick to one specific anecdote. Next one I would say is in an event, 99% of the questions revolve around, hi, what's your name? Once they know their name, what do you do? And cool. And after that, the conversation dies down. 99%, it's like that. But you could flip it by instead of just asking, what do you do? Just flip it, Maybe something like, what's something you're really into right now? Or what is the highest priority focus project that you're working on right now? It's simple. You're just asking, what do you do? But you've changed it from what do you do to something more interesting. That's it. Just one flip like that. And then don't drag conversations. End it on a high note and then just move on. Offer your insights, I would say, because anyone who's a HNI or someone who's important, they keep working on themselves and improving themselves. Not the toxic productivity. I'm not talking about that, but usually they're inclined to grow. They're addicted to growth, basically. So if you give them an insight or that will help them, they're going to remember you much, much better than 99% of the people who are pitching stuff or who are trying to get business or who are just befriending to, maybe use it for business later. It's all seen. It's just subtly conveyed, when they say communication is, I don't know the exact stat, but they say 80% nonverbal or something. That's what they mean. So
Yeah,
be yourself, ask uncommon questions, read the room, change your behavior a little, read those books, and flip the script. You will instantly stand out if you do all this. That's it. Don't do much. Don't do many more things. Just do 2 or 3 things right. You'll instantly stand out. Hope that helps, Roddick.
makes sense. Yeah, love that, Meenank. Another thing was that, like how we write LinkedIn posts, right? With a nice hook.
Hey,
If you can introduce yourself with a nice hook, I've tried
good
this, it
one.
has
Good
worked. I
one.
love it. It is my favorite
Fantastic.
hook,
Yeah,
which is if someone asks, what do you do? I say, I talk for
love
a
it.
living.
Love
That's it,
it. How did I forget
right?
that?
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, what does that mean? I love it.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And I like the fact that you asked about ask a question. If they are talking and they say that, I want to take some questions from the audience, put your hand up. If they pass you the mic, stand up. Let the speaker see your face. Ask an interesting, non-generic question. Understand remember the speaker's name and be like, I want to ask this question, or this question is directed to X person, um, and look into their eyes and say that, sir, or whatever, sir, ma'am, that person, I have this question. When you talk to them, be like, I am the person who asked that question. They're going to remember it. It's very interesting, right? If the question is good enough. If it is a bad question, then just don't say it then. If that's flop, then
Absolutely.
let that not be a recollection
Absolutely.
factor.
We have a
All
different
right.
question. This
Uh,
is like a classic content creator block, I would say. Yeah.
eh, is this the
Yes.
one? Okay. Hi, Sonali and Meenank. Thank you for this event. My question is, I don't post often. I share my thoughts when I really want to. I want to be more intentional. What do you think about this approach? You want to take a jab at this?
I love it that you're only being intentional whenever you're getting an idea you're posting. And that's fine if you don't have any goals per se from your content. Nobody, everybody, it's social media after all, not a hamster wheel where you have to keep on posting content daily and then expect followers to come in and grow and you become the next Ranveer Alavadia. No, we're not doing that. Okay. That's not the goal of personal branding at all. What is it that you're trying to achieve? Would be my question. If it's just share your thoughts, continue what you're doing. 100% continue what you're doing. Nobody cares, right? Just share your thoughts. It might get picked up by a few people. Perfect, done. But what is exactly your goal? People to act on those the things that you share, or people to reach out to you for business after they hear you? Are you trying to get more eyeballs to your own business with your thoughts? What exactly are you trying to achieve, Manu? I would like to answer this question once you tell me what exactly you're trying to achieve. Otherwise, I don't see any point in answering it. Yeah. Sonali, I feel you're stuck. Is it only me who sees Sonali stuck, or is it my internet? I'm really not sure. Tell me in the comments down below. Would love to see what's happening. Guys, can you hear me, see me, etc.? Tell me something in the comments. Maybe just drop a like or something. Is Sonali stuck, or am I going good? I'm not sure. Let me have a quick look at LinkedIn. And I think she's stuck. And while I'm talking over here, Perfect. Perfect. Let's wait for her to come back. Yeah,
Hello,
she's
hi.
back. Perfect.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I am back. So I did hear all of it, Minaj. I was able to hear you, but I was not able to respond for some reason. So yeah,
Right,
uh,
right. Perfect,
thanks.
perfect. You're back anyway. So we got
Yes.
the reply from Banu. She says, just the goal is to put yourself out there.
Hmm.
So if that's the goal, to put yourself out there, then you're already doing it, right? If you want to do more of it, maybe make a content calendar, and whenever you get an idea, just write down those ideas, and that with that, what you're going to exactly do is, in the days where you feel you're not getting any ideas, but you still want to post, you'll just open and be like, okay, this is a good idea to talk about today. So you could be doing that instead. So maintain a content calendar, do an idea dump, I would say, whenever you get an idea. Like, for example, if I were to come back to technical terms, just 2 days ago, I was in a shower. I got a really amazing idea about a B2B content that one of the personal brands that I'm handling. And I came after, I came out and then I just wrote the idea ASAP. I worked on the post, and bam, that post has gotten us at least 30 to 40,000 more impressions on LinkedIn, you know, than our previous posts. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, nice. That an idea from the shower has made it into LinkedIn and it has worked really well. So, uh, yeah, ideas can come anywhere. Just keep a note of them. Don't lose them, and make a post. It works.
Yeah,
It works. It truly works. Yeah.
short ideas are actually the best. I think there's a newsletter. I think it's called Morning Brew, if I'm not wrong. I could
Yeah.
be.
Morning brew.
I
Yeah.
know this Morning Brew. I don't know if they have this section. It's called Shower Thoughts. I think they post thoughts or memes or something. I think it's them only, if I'm not wrong. I've heard it in some
Right.
podcast.
Right.
And I was like, this is damn nice, man. I would have liked to read it. I would have liked to contribute to it. And I'm thinking that, damn, why didn't I come up with this, right? Because I get the best ideas again, showers, and a lot of my ideas come when I'm traveling or flying, that kind of stuff, because mind gets the time to kind of, you know, log off, I guess, just to refresh everything. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna add to what Minang said and say that I feel like posting for the sake of posting never really works out, because you're gonna lose momentum and you're gonna lose the whole idea behind it. You want to feel after part time, you'll feel like, why am I even doing it? So might as well start with Simon Sinek's why. Why are you really doing it? If it is about getting a good job, visibility, getting more opportunities, all of that, then it makes sense. And once you have understood the purpose behind doing it, then what to post, how much to post, the consistency, all of that will just get targeted towards that purpose, mission, vision, and value statements with which everyone kind of anchors themselves with, right? So start there. And if you want to be more intentional, be more intentional. It doesn't, what is the intention is the main thing, like you mentioned. And even like, I don't know if you follow Jasmine Alec, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
You don't even have to post. If you really want to engage, you can also engage in other people's posts, comments, reposts, all of that. Put your thoughts out there in different ways. You don't have to be on LinkedIn. You can be on Quora, on Reddit, just answering people's questions and again putting your thoughts out there. So start with why and then navigate your way through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I think we're at time. Do we have any
Yes.
last questions, thoughts? If not, we can we can kind of talk to each other and wrap it up.
Yeah. I
So
feel we've
yeah,
covered most
yeah,
things.
a
We
lot of
went
things. Yeah,
tactical as well.
yes.
Another thing I would like to say, coming back to the topic, which is you're posting, but you don't want to lose yourself. It is all right to take a break sometimes. especially if it's not tied to any business that requires customers coming in and you have employees to pay. That's all right. So definitely do take breaks. Social media can be overwhelming, and this is coming from a person who used to spend at least 8 hours on social media daily. I- Under the guise of, yeah, I'm researching content. In reality, I'm just scrolling through cat videos and questioning my life's existence. Oh my god, just joking. Anyway, uh, I reduced it. I noticed my patterns where it was getting out of control. My screen on time was just too much. And then I realized, okay, I need, I'm definitely not researching for 8 hours on content. So I intentionally brought it back to 1.5 hours or something. And the rest of the time, I just spent thinking of my own ideas and how I can be of, improve the business and other aspects of my life. Start playing more sports and start going out and started meeting people, etc., etc. So that's what I've done. So it's important not to get lost in this process. And if you get lost, it's all right to take a break. Completely all right to take a break. But do come back. And if you feel like, if it matters to you, if it matters to your business or anything else, and if it doesn't, that's even better. You're off social media. So I know this is like an anti narrative that we are talking right now. In the end, that, hey, don't be on social. No, nothing like that. I feel social media is what connects us right now. We can not completely go zero on social right now, but it's important that you're not following hundreds of advices out there on social, because everybody has something to say, and it might apply to you, it might not apply to you, right? So don't try to take every advice and apply. It's not going to work out. You're just going to be burnt out. Be intentional. Being intentional means taking your own advice to listening to your own body as well, and seeing your own patterns too, and making changes. So that's how I would look at it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I agree. I think we have kind of gotten back to where we started
Yeah.
with marketing. The whole point is to talk about marketing yourself without losing yourself. And if you follow any of your favorite, if you have favorite creators, I think a lot of people are now very openly talking about burnout. And it's not the burnout in the 9 to 5s anymore, it's burnout everywhere because creative business is a real business, it's a real economy, it's real money, which means that it takes demands a lot more from you. It's no longer just a hobby, right? No matter how silly it is, no matter how whatever, if you don't have a fancy office that you sit out of and you just make videos from your room, it is what it is, right? You're still putting in a lot of yourself out there, and it requires a lot out of you, which means that you have to fill yourself in order to be able to fill it outside into the world, which means intentional breaks. And if you feel like it's not working out, you're not liking it, you don't want to do it, it's okay. Yeah, there are different ways to navigate that situation. And the entire world is honestly not just marketing themselves out through social media. There are different ways of marketing yourself out there, putting yourself out there. um, I highly also recommend in-person marketing stuff. Please attend meetups, please attend networking events, please, and not just these workshops thingies, right? Meenank, you and I were talking about doing a pickleball thing. Yeah, I think you've already done one. We should do something again, put people together, and there are other things where founders playing pickleball or whatnot, creators playing pickleball. There's so many ways where you can just meet people. I know that there are people who do lunches and brunches with strangers,
Right.
or go to Carbon Park and quietly read books. These are ways where you just slowly, intentionally, and quietly put yourself out there in the real world as well. I think we're missing out the whole outside the digital world. There's a real world. It might be fewer number of people. It might be still a smaller, not such a diverse population because you're still in certain city and area of town, but
Right.
it is what it is.
True.
So meet people outside as well. Meet yourself outside as well. And I think if you do that, if there's a healthy balance, you will still be able to market yourself without losing yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Okay, Vinag, where should people follow you, and how do we get in
LinkedIn
touch?
itself, who are watching here. And yeah, just LinkedIn, I would say. Instagram
Yeah.
is more about me posting my personal life stories. It's public anyway. You can just look at
Hmm.
it. If follow it, if only if you're interested or something, because I keep trying out new things. That will be a thing. LinkedIn is where I go deep into my work, which is marketing. It's nitty gritty. What to post, when to post, what metrics to track, what automations that you can use right now. I'm into all that basically
Hmm.
because I do this for a living. Basically, doing social media, personal branding, etc., marketing. But imagine, uh, right? I mean, not, no, no, I do all this for a living, and we haven't spoken any of it today. We just spoke, I think, the mental aspect today, which is it truly
Yeah.
one of the most ignored aspects of all time. Most
Yeah.
ignored aspects because everybody is just focused on the next automation, next hack, any trick that will get them more followers. They just don't stop and see, okay, why am I even running this hamster wheel in the first place?
Yeah.
Because it's going to take a lot of your time. So, yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
liked having this conversation, Sonali. Much needed, I feel. And for people who've been staying here for a while, I think Nazak, Sumita, Rodek, Banu, Noor, and who else was here? I think Preksha, Vijay Sekhar, Depriya, Tanushree. Anybody else? Ankita, Riddhi, Sandeep, Kavya, Maxwell, Mahesh, Sohini, Riya, all of you who, and any of you guys, if I missed your name, I'm sorry. But thank you so much for joining in. I think this was really, really fun. And thank you so much for listening to me. Happy to connect on LinkedIn. And if not on Instagram, up to you. No force thing to follow. Only follow if you, you know, look at my content and feel like, okay, this guy is worth following. Might be useful.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Meenank. People, you can follow the two of us. I'm guessing you're already following us, but you do. Yeah, do you do you? You can follow us on Instagram as well. And I'm hoping you'll like the conversation. We're up to chit chat with you. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the DMs. But please make it very straightforward. Don't go around the bush, and we'll try and
Yes.
help you out as much as we can. And I plan to come live more often than not, so I will see, and you will see my non-pretty face with a nice dimple patch way more often. And Vinag is very active on both places as well. So we will see you around. Thank you so much for being here with us on a Thursday evening for almost an hour. I wish you have a wonderful weekend.
Absolutely. I'm glad. Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Minu.
I think we just have to stop that and we go into the studio.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Bye.